our live coffee chat. Guys, this is so exciting.
Hey, everybody.
Hi. Hello. We'll wait for some people to ask some questions. So many tabs. How's everyone doing today?
I was just about to say, how's everyone's day?
Yeah, I said we're on the same wavelength.
My day's been good. It's been rainy here in Cali today, but other than that, day's been good.
It really has. There was the
we're Wednesday.
It is Wednesday. The Summerfest, or not the Summerfest. I was trying to say the FSU alert, and somehow I got Summerfest from that. But the FSU alert that was about a thunderstorm happened today, and I was kind of concerned about the Wi-Fi for the situation, to be honest.
Yes. No, the storm was crazy. Like the wind, rough. I
one yesterday
went to
too.
go get. Yeah, really bad out of nowhere. And
there's a bad one yesterday.
Today.
Yeah.
I went to go get coffee, and I had to run in the monsoon that was in Tallahassee. So, I got soaking wet, but But did you get the coffee?
It was worth it for the coffee. It was worth it.
It's always, as long as you got the coffee, you're always winning. I just really feel strongly about that. I'm trying to get
Jenna, you're a coffee addict.
I really am. For those of you who are potentially members coming to Tallahassee, you know what? I'm going to take some time while we're waiting for this to officially be 6 o'clock to give some coffee recommendations. Red Eye, huge fan. If you're a black coffee person, black cold brew. Sap, I don't think you're a black coffee person. So what is your order at Red Eye?
I'm not, but I love Red Eye. Red Eye is where I actually, because I went to high school, really close by to Red Eye. So that's where we would always go and study after school. So Red Eye is like close to home. But
what's your order, since you're not like a black coffee person?
That's really tricky, because I haven't been to Red Eye actually in a really long time, but I used to like really sweet coffee drinks, which I don't really like as much anymore. I honestly usually just like a cold brew with almond milk in it now, and some vanilla. I know, I've really matured.
You really have.
So yeah, that's my order now. I really like Lucky Goat, obviously. Lucky Goat's the best. Lucky Goat and Paper Fox. Those are my two.
Snowflake Crunch right is back, baby.
Yes, PSA, Snowflake Crunch is back. It's the best thing ever.
I have no idea what y'all are talking about when you say Snowflake Crunch. I've never heard of it.
I don't know what that is.
What is that?
Please elaborate. Please elaborate.
We're going to buy this. We're going to buy this for you guys during recruitment week, and we're going to have it. Snowflake Crunch is.
It'll be like Christmas during recruitment.
I don't know how else to describe it except it tastes like Christmas. I mean, it's so good.
It's a cold brew, right?
Yeah, you can get it cold brewed, or you can get it hot. Actually, they make it in like the bag. It comes in the bag too. So honestly, I get a couple gallons for recruitment week.
Oh, gallons for sure.
Gallons.
Yes.
Can you give me some guidance? Is it like peppermint? Is it ginger?
No,
it's
more of like a no peppermint or no, it's more like a maybe some like mocha in it. Gonna advise. Maybe.
It's like I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Does it taste like Christmas?
Yes.
I can't even put my finger on what that means specifically. So I feel like I just have to try it.
Yeah, that's a good move.
Okay, I'll just try.
I was not a hot coffee person until before quarantine, to be honest with everyone. And then the quarantine came, and I was home, and I was very close to my Keurig, which was a big deal. So dangerous levels.
Dangerous.
You know what I want now though? I want an espresso.
Yes. My friend
he
worked in an espresso in Australia. Like he went to go stay there for a semester, and I don't know if it's semester, it was just like 6 months. But he went to Australia and he worked in this restaurant, and they give out free samples. Like in Australia, it's more of like a coffee shop and a store, which, to be honest with you, might be my dream. So
I think that would be your dream.
I really wanted this.
Jenna would totally go and never leave the store. Never.
But could you imagine if I worked
reason
there?
For her to.
Like, to make money to drink coffee seems like the ideal, or like talk about coffee. Like that's what we're doing now, like all day long.
Jenna, you need to make your own coffee brand.
Yeah, you're so.
I mean,
right.
what would that even be titled?
Raise your level, but like with like
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yes.
obviously
Did you
I
just
thought
come
about
up
this.
with
Don't
that?
act like this wasn't something I thought of.
That was so good. That was incredible.
Thank you so much, guys. That meant a lot, honestly. I'm trying to think of other suggestions of things in Tallahassee since we're here and people will be here soon.
That's true.
Steph, you are a native, so I do feel like you have
I
more.
am a
of
native.
that.
So it depends. What category are we in? Like, are we going for like
I don't know.
outdoor
Food?
places
What's
to
your
hang
favorite
out?
restaurant in
Food
Tallahassee?
places. Oh, that's so hard. Okay, so I really like. This is difficult. I love masa for
Wait,
sushi.
sorry,
Masa's good.
I did realize that we did forget Black Dog in the coffee, and that is my favorite, one of my favorite
Black
places.
Dog's
It's like
really
the
good.
outdoor area
That's
of
a
Black
good
Dog
one.
by Lake Ella.
Black Dog's really
my
good.
favorite. So I do feel like I just needed to mention that before we moved on. You may now continue.
No, you're good. Black Dog is definitely worthy mentioning, but Black Dog's tricky because it does fill up really fast. So just a heads up. You have to kind of go at a certain time in order to get a good spot. Or you can sit outside, but it just depends on the weather. So I like masa a lot for sushi. Masa's good. Where else do I like?
Tally Thai.
Tally Thai. I've never been to Tally Thai.
Is we'll go before recruitment. It's a very big passion of mine.
Okay. I'm excited.
Introduce people to Tally Thai.
I really wanted to try pho. I've never tried pho before, and I really want to try
7 is really good.
Yeah, can we go sometime soon? I would really like to go there.
It's so good. It's so yummy. I love like chicken. Very good.
They have I'm a vegetarian I was gonna say for those who don't know, but I don't know why P&M would know that I was a vegetarian. but if you didn't know, and they have a really good like tofu situation.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've always wanted that. Oh, sorry. So go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. I just had this thought, and I know my brain, and I'm probably gonna lose the thought. We're talking about places to eat. So I know I was driving earlier and I passed Yerbil. I think it's Yerbil. Yeah. And it's pho and it's so good. And it's kind of hidden. So you can't really see it on Tennessee Street, but it is so good. It is probably the best time in the fall or the winter when it's like a little bit chillier. Because it's warm. It's like, it's delicious. But anyway, I'm sorry for cutting you off. Keep going.
No, you're totally fine. Okay, some other good spots too. Sage is really good. Let's see here. Fugler's food is really good. Those places are good. Depends. Those are more like sit down restaurants. So if you want like a quick bite to eat, Hopkins is a sandwich shop, really good. Hopkins is good. Let's see here. Oh, Metro Deli. It's downtown area. Metro is so good.
It's really good. There's not much for me at this point anymore.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's so good. I'm trying to think of like what's like a non-related food related suggestion.
There's lots of like parks and like little places to go in Tallahassee.
I really
the
feel
Greenway is
committed
always
to this
fun.
6 p.m. coffee chat.
Do we have any like FSU recommendations?
Oh, the res going to like kayak and there's like canoes and stuff. So much fun on a weekend. So much fun. They also have like the ropes courses, but
how much is it for students? I don't think it's very expensive, is it?
No, it's free for students.
It's free. Yeah.
Free.
Okay, that's what I thought. I couldn't remember if it was free if it was like $15 or something. But
yeah, that's literally my favorite thing to do. It's so fun. We all need to go one time because oh my gosh, I have a blast.
We'll make a list,
every
guys.
time.
We have some. We'll take some recruitment.
A bucket list.
I've gone once and it was a good time.
Yeah, the golf course is fun. I've never done. I went to camp there actually a long time ago. So the camp is fun.
Such a Cali gal.
Yeah, I know.
I think if you're like don't want to leave campus, like I don't know if like people are like very like not wanting to drive somewhere, they have the 1851 and that has all the different food areas, and then it's kind of like a food hall if you're trendy and want to call it that. But they have Tally Mac Shack. They have I haven't tried the sushi place. I've heard good things if you're a sushi person. What else? They have other
like a burger. They have a burger place.
I really like the Italian place there. I am a 5-year-old, so I do just get their little cheese pizza, but I do think it's really good.
They have like a little place in there where it has just like a tons of snacks and like stuff and like freezer things for like quick bites, like super quick bites, microwave meals, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's
helpful
true.
if you just want to like pop in. And
They also have,
like,
they have a
really,
mini Starbucks. That's the hidden gem of, that's the hidden gem of
Wait.
FSU. You know what am I saying, everyone? That's the hidden gem. The gem.
Which one are
you
talking about?
Gem. They have, okay, so in the convenience store that you're just talking about, I'm gonna like lose my spot here and everyone's gonna go there and I'm gonna have an issue. But when you know how like when you go to Stroh's and the line is actually out the door, I guess that might be a little bit different with some less people on campus, hopefully. But it's like out the door, and that the one there, the one, sorry, I'm trying to think of where it is in like location. When you first walk in off of Jefferson, like that area, the little convenience store, like when you go to pay, they also sell coffee.
Interesting.
So if you're lucky enough to be watching
1851 has it all.
It really does.
Yeah,
it really has everything you can need. The more you know.
They also have the upstairs seating area, which I really like. It has some couches and some like tables, a lot of space, some outlets, stuff like that. I know we hung out there during recruitment last year. We were taking.
Oh yeah, I love the seating area. There's just a lot of space there, so you can. It's nice.
Yeah, it has a ton of space. It's nice. It's a good little meeting spot if you're like meeting up with a friend or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the best. I do really like 1851. I'm trying to think of what else is on campus. There's so many.
Oh,
things.
the tea shop on Landis.
If you're a tea person,
they have a very big menu. It's like very, very cool. They have a ton of different options, all different specialty teas, everything. It's iced, hot. It's very, very cool. If you're a tea person, highly recommend. They also have like outdoor sitting area and stuff, so it's nice to go and study there. It's cool.
I just love FSU. I really do. You can ask you can ask them. You can, and we're like no one's responding, but yeah, I really just do. We did get our first question, which is kind of just exciting. So if you're the first one, thank you for asking
very
the first
excited.
question.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Our first question is, what are some good questions to ask when visiting the houses? So does anyone want to start with that, and then we can like kind of popcorn?
So for this question, I feel like it depends on which round you're in. So we have our first round, which is scholarship round, and then our next round is investment round, and after that it's leadership and service, and then sisterhood is our fourth round. So it really just depends on which round you're in. And so as you increase and these rounds go on, your conversations will start to get deeper with these women, and you will start to ask some deeper questions. But some good questions to start off. So let's say we're in an investment round. So you can ask typical questions. There'll be a financial presentation that the chapter women will go over. But you can ask questions like how or what scholarships does your chapter provide, or does your chapter offer any financial aid sort of situation, something like that. You could ask what is included in your chapter dues. So questions like that. Anybody else want to talk about another round?
Sorry, I was on mute. I know that a lot of people are always unsure about scholarship round because it's the first round. You're not talking to them for very long. The same goes for investment, but those two rounds in general are just kind of like a get a feel, like get to know you kind of thing. That's like your chance to kind of ask any base questions like, oh, like how do you like Florida State? How do you like your chapter? Like kind of like what Sarah Allison was talking about, just those like base questions of to kind of give you just like a feel of what being in a sorority is going to be like on campus, and see if it's like going to be a right fit for you. It'll help you kind of think of more questions as you go throughout the conversation. So a little piece of advice that I could give for asking questions, the rounds are broken up into for you to be able to like understand certain aspects of that chapter. And so if you go into like that round or that day, really just thinking about some of like breaking down that round and the questions that you might have pertaining to those chapters that you might be visiting, it can really help. So like Sarah Allison said about finance, really just thinking about it and thinking about all the aspects of finance that like might concern you or worry you or any of those things, really just taking the time to write those down and become comfortable asking those questions can be really helpful when you're meeting with the women.
We did. I'm trying to think of. What round did we not do? I'm sorry, I'm trying to like count in my head.
3 and 4.
Do you want to just like touch on those a little bit?
Well, I know leadership and services when each chapter discusses their philanthropy. So this is kind of the round where a lot of people, it kind of hits them at home because philanthropies mean a lot to a lot of women, and when going to try and look for a chapter to be in. So sometimes that just like that really just triggers a lot of questions for you because you want to know how they fundraise, what kind of events they do, where
Everybody,
does the money directly go.
Hop off 1 second, but I'll be right back. Okay.
I miss you already.
Sounds
All right,
good.
bye, I'll miss you guys.
Bye. So yeah, that's basically the round that a lot of people realize, okay, like I really love this chapter. Like I really think I see myself in this chapter. And the same goes for sisterhood round, which is preference. A lot of women also see themselves too that day because it's kind of like a special ceremony that they get to participate in. So both those are just your time to pretty much just open up, as hard as it may be for some. It's to just open up and kind of just talk about why you see yourself in the chapter and maybe like how your week's going. And it's just more of like a get deeper.
I also
Zach explained, like you get deeper as the rounds go on.
No,
Sorry,
you're
go
so
ahead, Jenna.
fine. I was just gonna say, I think that the only thing I would add to all of this is like your recruitment counselor will be giving you like question topics throughout the week. So there's just always they are always a great resource for you to like reference, like if you have questions about specific rounds, because I know that we just said a lot of different questions you can ask and you may just not remember all of those. I know I wouldn't be able to. So like you can always ask your recruitment counselor during the round or before the round, before the week of, whatever. We're getting a lot of questions, so just to give everyone like we are attempting to go through them, so we will be getting to all of them throughout our whole 2 hours together. Aren't you all lucky? Whole 2 hours. So one question that we have gotten a bunch of things about is how someone just keeps asking them. So we've gotten a lot of questions about outfits. What are the outfits going to be for this round? Or for each round, are they the same as in person? We'll be like releasing some actual visual things for you all to look at. But Alyssa or Sydney, do you guys want to like talk a little bit about what they're gonna look like?
Yeah, so outfit wise, like Jenna did say, we're going to be releasing some more material about that to give you guys just some more information and just visuals to be able to understand outfits for the rounds of recruitment, especially with how recruitment's going to be this year. But really the best advice I can give you with outfits is to be yourself, allow yourself to express like who you are as a person, be comfortable. The days can be long, and so those would be the two things: express yourself and who you are, but really do stay comfortable and true to who you are. So that would be my little nugget.
Yes, I definitely agree with everything that Alyssa just said. Also, like, if you feel uncomfortable in any way about maybe an outfit I picked out, you're unsure, or you honestly just, even after we release some information, you still are really confused, you have a lot of questions, like your recruitment counselor is like a really good person to go to because they can help you figure things out. They're like your go-to person for the whole week of recruitment and beforehand, like they're your person. So if you have any questions at all regarding outfits or worry that you don't have the right things based on like what information we gave you, just remember, be yourself. Just express yourself in the best way possible because it's always good to be true to yourself especially during a process like this. And then of course, if you have any questions at all, just go to your recruitment counselor and they'll be happy to give you some insight and help explain some more. So
yeah, I can also just like I said, we'll be releasing some visuals, but happy to like talk through some of them. So round one, as we released in our virtual plan, is asynchronous. So that means you will be watching some different videos from chapters, getting some different materials from chapters. So you can totally wear whatever you want as you watch those. I would be in sweatpants personally. I don't know about Sydney and Alyssa. I can assume that they would be, but like running
shorts all the way.
Constantly.
Yeah,
so definitely take advantage of that.
yeah, y'all can't see right now, but I currently have running shorts on because you can't see me from the waist down. So why not?
Running
I do
shorts and a
too. I do
very
too.
large sweatshirt cannot go wrong. Ever, ever, ever.
And they won't know. So do what you want.
There you go.
Round 2, you will be going to be virtual as well, as we showed in our plan, but you will be having talking to chapter women via Zoom. So this is still a much more casual round. So you'll be getting a shirt, a Panhellenic shirt, that part of your registration fee goes towards. So you can wear that. You can wear just like a comfortable shirt. If you would like to wear like something, just wear whatever you feel comfortable in. From the bottom, like from waist down, from like however you sit on Zoom, I guess it's up to you. Wear running shorts, wear sweatpants, wear whatever you would like. Wear some fuzzy socks, be comfortable. You do you, I guess, depending on how cold you get, make your choice. Round 3 and 4 are just depending on the plan that we end up going with, which we'll be releasing soon. As you may have seen in our plan, there's 3 different levels of the plan. So depending on which one we end up going with will determine your outfit. So for round 3, if we are virtual, again, just keep those sweatpants, maybe like wash them, get a couple pairs, but like if we're virtual for round 3, you can wear sweatpants from the bottom. From the top up, this as we kind of mentioned, as the rounds go a little bit deeper for each one, you may want to wear like a nicer shirt as like the rounds go deeper. So maybe that's like a cute little blouse. Sydney, you're much trendier than I am. If you'd like to give like a suggestion, again, this is still also a suggestion, so like whatever you feel comfortable in, you should be wearing at every round. So like, I don't know, I just feel like you're very like teacher vibes.
Yeah, teacher vibes, not trendy vibes. I'm in the teacher world, let's be clear. I have my cute little slide-on loafer shoes. I have my cute little colorful dresses. But a lot of people's vibe are different than mine. So just wear whatever you're comfortable.
Yeah, wear your my style and Sydney's style are vastly different. Just like Sydney and I are vastly different. So wear whatever you feel comfortable in, whatever's gonna make you feel most confident. And yeah, so same type of vibe if round 3 is in person, if it is safe to do that. You would just, wear sweatpants if you'd like to.
Absolutely.
But also, that's something where you can wear maybe some like nicer pants, maybe a little. I when I went through recruitment, I think I wore like a little sundress. I believe I could be making that up based on memory because that was now almost 3-4 years ago.
Definitely be mindful that it is a bit warm, and so
it's very right.
Please dress accordingly to what really keeps you comfortable and what can get you through the day, because Tallahassee is not very kind in the summer. It is a bit warm. So that is definitely something to consider when you're getting dressed. So
for sure.
Yes, I actually, sorry, one last quick thing on the outfits. I remember the exact outfit I wore every single day of recruitment. I don't know why, but I do. So just to give you a better insight of what I kind of wore, since in case y'all are just stuck. I know that I wore, I think, leadership and service one day. I wore a white, like, high neck top and a little flowy skirt that went, like, right above my knees and some sandals. And then the second day, I wore a little sundress. And then for, like, preference round, I wore, like, a nicer dress. It was just solid color, but it was high neck, thick sleeves, went right above my knee, and some heels. And I was comfortable in it. So that's just kind of to give a little better idea, but that was also in 2017, so times have changed a little, so you do you just a little bit of a better insight there.
There you go.
I think that for round 4, like we said, that is a special round, whether it's virtual, whether it's in person, that is a time where chapters share part of their ritual with you. So we encourage you to that's like the nicest round, most formal round, but still, depending on if we are virtual or in person, dress comfortably. If you're in your residence hall or your place of residence, wherever that is, you can wear wear a dress from the top down, maybe put some sweatpants under the dress.
There is no shame in a nice dress and a pair of pajama pants underneath it. None.
Absolutely none. Absolutely none. Amazon has some good pairs of sweatpants right now, so
Fantastic.
just gonna capitalize on that one for you. But yeah, so I think that was, we'll also be, like I said, releasing some visuals for outfits as well. So just be on the lookout for that this week.
Stay tuned.
Love it. Someone asked if they will be able to participate in recruitment if they are staying in their hometown due to COVID-19. Yes, 100%. We will be having an option, even if we end up with some in-person rounds, where if you have a health or safety concern, you are absolutely able to still go through the process. You just need to email our vice president of membership, who was the other woman who on the call. Her name is Sarah Allison, at membership@floridastateph.com. So that's also on our website. You can just do contact staff. That will also go to her email. Whatever's easier for you. So since we're starting off Summerfest, someone would like to know what are some types of questions they can ask the different chapters during like the chapter visit, if they leave this I don't know why you'd want to leave this great coffee chat, but if you did to go talk to some chapters, I get it. There's some great people as well.
It's fine, we understand.
I get it, right? I get it. So like go, they're great women, go ask them some questions, but what are some questions they can ask them?
I can guarantee you that the viewers cut in half when I started talking about my trendy teacher clothes.
I loved it. Welcome back.
Hello.
I'm kind of mad you didn't get coffee while you were gone. I do realize it's 6:15, but it is coffee chat.
I cannot drink coffee right now because if I do, I'll be up all night, which is not.
I get that. I do.
I get that. That makes sense.
I'm trying. We were just asking.
Yeah, let's fill some.
What are we talking about? Yeah.
What are we talking? So someone asked if they decide they want to leave our coffee chats and go talk to some of the chapter women, which we get, they're great. We're also fun. We're fun. So it's best of both worlds. What are some questions that they can ask the chapter women?
That's a good one. Have we talked? Like,
we have not. You genuinely got in as I finished
great.
the question.
I just got in.
Time. Perfect time.
I think, maybe a good question might be like, tell me a little bit about your chapter, like just to get to know them first. I mean, I feel like this is such a good time to kind of learn that baseline information about them. Like what are their values? Like what is this chapter about? And kind of why, what makes this chapter special?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yep. Definitely. I think building off of what Sarah Allison said, using this as an opportunity just to get to know the chapters from themselves and not from anything you might hear or anything. I think it's a really good opportunity just to create that foundation just a little bit firsthand. And so use the opportunity, and I think it can be really, really helpful.
And we definitely recommend checking out all 17 too. Make sure you pop in and try to talk to at least all 17, just so you get a feel for each and every one.
There's actually if you are on the platform, and I'm trying to like visualize it, but there's the left-hand side of the screen. This is like for my intro. The left-hand side of the screen, there are these icons, but then on the right-hand side of the screen, there's like, like the little 3 lines that you can like click to go see more, if you will. There's a little, you can check off which chapters you visited. So I know that when I came into this process, I genuinely had to write every single out because I could not understand, figure out which one was which with all the names. So we know that can be confusing. So if you go to visit Alpha Delta Pi, you can click that you visited them, and then to go on to the next one. So that's a really great way to keep track of it. You can also write it down if that's easy for you. I'm a writing person, but whatever's easier for you. Trying to think. Yeah. So cool feature of Summerfest. Let's see. We have a lot of questions. So if you have not gotten to yours,
I really came
we
back
have
at the perfect
so much
time.
It was a perfect timing.
We missed you.
I really missed it. I was sad, lonely.
You missed some outfits, but
okay.
So
That's
just to
exciting.
catch you up on what you missed.
That's a popular question.
Let's see. Can you do you need, sorry, you can click. What a cool feature this is. You can click when we answer a question. Do we need recommendation letters? It's a two-parter, so please hold. Do we need recommendation letters? And then can a relative who is in a sorority write a recommendation letter? Steph, I do feel like you're the queen of this response. I know it is, so I'm gonna let you do it.
I get this question.
Take it away.
Great. I get this question actually a lot, all the time probably. And so it's a very common question, but basically recommendations are not required at Florida State. And nor will affect your recruitment process whatsoever if you have or if you don't have recommendation letters. So you can actually go to our website and click on the different chapter profiles, and it says, I think it says send recommendation letters here, I believe, and there's like a link or an email address of which each chapter has that the person writing your recommendation letter will send it to. But it depends on the chapter's national policy. So each chapter has a different policy. So I definitely recommend that you check out their national website in regards to who can send recommendation letters, whether that's family members, friends, whoever. So definitely check that out.
You kill it in an email, you kill it in a live stream. The question's just so good.
Thank you.
Okay. I just saw a question I was actually thinking of. Oh, so we've gotten a bunch of different questions. They're all similar in stature or stat. Is that the word I'm looking for? In topic? I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say.
In area. They're all, yeah.
Sure, that works. Yeah. So we've gotten a lot of questions about move-in. So our Office of Fraternity and Sorority Life, or our department, they are not the office anymore, they're a department. So shout out FSL. They work with university housing to make sure that those who are going through recruitment are able to move in before recruitment events start. So that's recruitment events as a whole, not just like in person. So just keep an eye out for information on that, but you will be able to move in prior to the beginning of recruitment. So easing your mind about that. Oh, that's a good one. What a good question. Sorry, I just didn't think about this. What should we do if both our roommate and ourselves are going through recruitment for virtual rounds? I assume this is a residence hall because I'm thinking the question is like if we're in the same room.
In the same, yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question. So I think this kind of just depends on university housing's plan and everything, but a lot of times or in pretty much all dorms, there's like a little room down the hall, a study room. So if both maybe you and your roommate are going through recruitment at the same time and you both have an event that's scheduled for the same time where you both need to be on Zoom, one of you can maybe go down into the study room and hang out there and do your virtual event there. Or we recommend any sort of headphones, earphones, AirPods, whatever you want to use. Those are definitely helpful a lot, very helpful. But yeah, anybody else have any advice you want to
offer? Oh, you can go, Liz. I could tell you were about to speak.
No, I was just totally going to emphasize what Sarah Allison said about headphones. They can be a really great way just to focus in on what exactly is in front of you and just help with that conversation. So even if you have your roommate might be a couple feet away from you, it can just help like box in the conversation. So that might be a little beneficial.
For our loyal followers who have been watching this, number one, I appreciate you. But number two, I'm gonna mess it up. And Sarah Allison sometimes goes by SAP because of her initials. And I will eventually call her that and mess up. So I just feel like since we have the opportunity on the live stream, I'm gonna say it now.
We're all getting to know each other here, might as well. Jenna will definitely mess it up and call me SAP, and then everybody on this live stream will be like, who is that?
Right. So this is
I definitely will.
SAP. That is me. Yes.
Oh my God, wait, I have an idea.
I did it already, and I was like, oh no, oh crap. I was like,
I know, Alyssa did it too.
Stop, look at your name.
Too, and I laughed.
I did it too.
Oh, perfect.
That's perfect.
Wow.
How I never, we have done this a few times and it has never occurred to me. So we're going to move on from it, but that is
right now.
It's fine. So sorry. And then I will ask a question that I promise I'm not just trying to interrogate Sap currently. I just know that this is another question she really likes. Well, maybe not likes, but likes to answer.
Bring on the questions, Jenna.
But spring recruitment, we've gotten a lot of questions about since fall's kind of crazy, should we just forego and go to spring recruitment? So.
Yeah, good question. So a couple things. First of all, we are offering accommodations to participate in fully virtual recruitment if you are not planning on coming to campus for the fall semester, excuse me. If you have health concerns or if you simply would feel more comfortable with a virtual experience. So that's definitely one thing. Shoot me an email at membership@floridastateph.com if this is something you might be interested in. Or Florida State Panhellenic does have a spring recruitment process. We call it Spring Informal Recruitment, or COB, which stands for Continuous Open Bidding, which usually takes place in the first few weeks of the spring semester. The spring informal recruitment process is different though from the fall formal recruitment process, as it's a lot less formal, but also not every chapter participates in spring informal recruitment. But you will, if you are attending spring informal recruitment, you will have the chance to meet representation from every chapter that attends the orientation sessions. We usually have about half of our Panhellenic sorority chapters that attend spring informal recruitment and participate in it. So just as a note, though, the bid acceptance rate is lower for spring informal recruitment.
Yeah, we really encourage you to stay in this process, or if you have not registered, register for recruitment and go through in fall, just to really be able to meet every chapter, give yourself that chance, and just experience the Panhellenic community and everything it has to offer. We're slightly biased, but we think it's a great time.
only a little bit.
Just a little
biased.
Just a little.
In case you were here earlier when I said we love FSU, I do really love Panhellenic as well. So big fans over here. We're some big fans.
Jenna's whole entire wardrobe is Panhellenic t-shirts.
It's so true.
And FSU. Because
and FSU t-shirts.
So if anyone has, I don't know why I keep doing this, acting like I've been on all these like meetings with people, or like with PNMs, but if I'm in either an FSU or a Panhellenic shirt every Zoom meeting. So, and then as we mentioned before, running shorts from the bottom down. So you got it, or sweatpants.
That's the Zoom attire.
Zoom attire, Zoom makeup. I told Sap earlier that or Sarah Allison, I guess at this point, hopefully people are with it.
It's hopefully.
I said, I really like your Zoom makeup.
We were on the same Zoom call, and she was like, I like your Zoom makeup. I'm like, I like the sound of that Zoom makeup.
It is. It's like a different kind of makeup artist. It just is. I feel really passionate.
I fully believe that Zoom has like a uniform. Like when you go to school, when you were younger, there's a uniform, but like there's a uniform for going on a Zoom call, and it's like a big t-shirt, big sweatshirt, something of that nature. It's just, there's a uniform. There's a protocol.
I'm with you. I really am.
I'm about to expose myself, but there's also Zoom hair. I only wave / curl the front pieces of my hair.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna see the back of my head.
I like that too.
So I'm exposing myself, but I did in fact only curl the front of my hair because I knew y'all were gonna see the back of me.
That's so smart. That's really smart.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Like
That's a really good idea, Sid. I love that.
I did it for composite pictures too.
I love that.
Not kidding.
We are really popping off in the questions, so I just want to bring us back.
Let's answer some more. Bring them on.
Shoot.
I'm just gonna quickly, so like some questions. I assume if I'm wrong and you just missed it earlier, I apologize, but I assume people are coming in a little bit late in the answering or missing some questions. But first move in, like we mentioned, and this will be we're gonna be this will be on YouTube. So if you miss anything, you can always go back and check it out. If you missed our beginning, we gave some fire coffee recommendations. I don't think I'm an expert on many things. I do feel like that's my expertise. So, and Sap is from Tallahassee, so you combine those. It's a good combination.
Got a good list.
Move in. You will be able to move in if you are in an FSU residence hall. We work our office or our Department of Fraternity and Sorority Life works with university housing, so you will be able to move in prior to recruitment. Just keep an eye out for that. Hold on. People ask some very good questions. If you have not heard from your recruitment counselor, reach out to Sarah Allison at membership@floridastateph.com, and she will ensure that that's not a tech issue on our end. So just
that's a very common question. Actually, we get a lot. So if you have not heard from your recruitment counselor, don't fret. You'll hear from her. She is not a ghost, but just reach out.
She's not a ghost.
You can email me at membership@floridastateph.com. By the end of this call, I hope you guys all know my email very well. But
membership
anyway.
@floridastateph.com. This is the face behind the email. I feel like you're like meeting a celebrity.
Here you go.
Stop, you're hyping up too much. Anyways,
So what to wear? I'm just really the coffee, the live stream. It's a good vibe.
So send me an email. Anyways, if you haven't heard from your recruitment counselor, you will be hearing from her soon. Especially if you just recently registered within the past week or so. It takes us a little bit of a time for kind of to work things out, and then but you will be hearing from your recruitment counselor soon.
This is a question we just got. If you asked earlier on, I'm going based off like how people push them up, or just where I end up when I scroll, but a little bit of both. Someone asked, do you actually have to speak with the women from each chapter in the Summerfest virtual rooms, or are they able to just like stop in and watch and then go and see another one? If someone wants to explain like the breakout rooms and how that's gonna work, so that way that's not like a surprise when you get there. I can if no one wants to.
Like I've been talking on. Anybody else want to take?
So just to clarify, the question is when you going into the rooms to meet with
like, are you able to watch, or you just you have to speak?
You don't necessarily have to speak if you don't have any questions. If you just want to go there to absorb the information and really just get a feel for the conversation, you absolutely can. And then if a question sparks in your brain, you absolutely can ask it, but it isn't mandatory by any means. You really can just go in there to absorb it all.
Perfect. Just to explain a little bit about the breakout rooms, I realized that was a tech question, and that's not, I looked at Alyssa app, and that's just not everyone's. But I'm also not, I had to have my advisor explain this to me for multiple times. So I get it. But the way that this is set up is in breakout rooms when you go into a room. So for example, Zeta Tau Alpha is a chapter on our campus. If you were to go into their room, the recruitment counselor in that room will put you into a breakout room, or you'll be in the waiting room if there's more than the allotted amount of people. And you're able to, it will be you, depending on how many PNMs are in the room, up to 4 PNMs, and then someone from that chapter, just to be able to ensure that if you do have questions, you're able to ask questions. You are able to just like say hi and like whatever, but, or like, just not whatever, you're able to just like watch, I guess, people answering questions. But I would recommend you capitalize on that time and like ask if you have a question. They get it, they went through the process. So ask any questions you have. And yeah.
Another great resource that if for some reason you weren't able to speak to all 17 chapters tonight, or I know we're posting this later, so if you weren't able to attend Summerfest tonight, then it's a great resource for you to go on our website, floridastateph.com, have that one memorized. One time Jen and I were on a call and I forgot it, and it was so embarrassing. But anyways,
it was genuinely, I was like shocked. I
had no idea why I forgot the website name. I don't know. Anyway,
maybe I'll post it one day on the Instagram if I'm feeling
you should,
bold. You should. But I literally have the screen recording. I saved it on my phone of her saying it and me just going. You responded 10 times an hour to people.
Literally, I have it memorized. I promise. But anyways, so great resources is to go to our website at floridastateph.com and check out our chapter profiles and our chapter map. Which Sydney created. Props to Sid. Yes,
it's stunning.
And
stunning.
My child, yes, I am so proud of it.
It looks incredible. But anyways, to check out those things, learn a little bit more about each of those chapters. It's a great resource, so I definitely recommend that you check that out.
Also, just to tag a little bit on, because Sarah also mentioned the map, it was very helpful to look at just to be able to get a general sense of the layout of campus. I remember when I was going through recruitment back in 2017, I was very concerned about like locations and knowing where I was just because everything was so new. So it can be really helpful just to, like Sydney went ahead and put some really great landmarks on there on campus, just for you to be able to really recognize things and just get a feel for campus. So it can be very helpful to take a glance at that and kind of soak it in.
Yeah, that was mainly my goal, was to make sure that I put things on there where people would know, like Landis, Stroger Library, the Union, everything like that. Because I know I was a little intimidated coming in as a freshman, going through recruitment, especially because it just seemed huge to me when I first got to FSU. I was like, how am I ever going to find my way around here? There's like no way. And all I needed to do was like look it over. Yeah, I just needed to look it over. And it helped a lot. So that map, screenshot it, print it, carry it around with you. Please.
The best.
That was my whole
full disclosure.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I have been at FSU for so many years, and I do have that map saved in my images, just in case you
I
get a
love
little
that.
turned
That's really
around when
beautiful.
you're on a run. You just know where
I
you
love
are.
that, Alyssa. You know, Sid, I really needed this map back when I was at PNM and I went through recruitment in 2017 because it was the first round that we were on our own, and our recruitment counselor had just given us our schedules, and she released us, and she was like, go to your events. And so I was like chilling, waiting around. Like I thought my event, I thought I had plenty of time, and I did. So I left with plenty of time to walk to the chapter facility, and I was
going to the wrong one.
I went to the wrong one, and so we couldn't jaywalk, so which you still can't, obviously. And
no
so,
jaywalking.
No jaywalking. And so, anyways, I had to run all the way around, and by the time I got to my event, I was so sweaty and I was so nervous about like my appearance and everything, but it was so silly. Like looking back, I'm just like, it wasn't that big of a deal.
It's okay.
I have a funny recruitment story, but I want to answer some people's questions so that way they are able to come talk to chapters. But then I do have a funny recruitment story. Oh, don't you worry. I tell it at least 3 times a year.
Fabulous.
It's like a Christmas story, you know? Okay. I'm just gonna quickly do what I did like a couple minutes ago and just go through some questions we've answered. Just like quickly. The what to wear we did go through, so that will be on the YouTube, but we will also be posting some visuals. If you're a visual person, I am, so I get it. So be on the lookout for that. Spoiler alert, sweatpants for lots of rounds. Always. How will people be able to pick up the shirts? Great question. Does anyone want to answer that really quick? Cool. You can. We'll have a place you can pick them up on campus. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, you any of your panel gear, we'll let you know where and when you can grab them on campus, and you'll be able to come pick those up. So that includes the t-shirt, correct?
You will be, you are able to join a chapter if you are not coming back for the semester. 100% yet. When will we know which plan we are following? Before recruitment.
Great question.
Hopefully, yeah, great question.
We're all curious.
No, soon. We're kidding. We're not, but we are. We are currently in the state plan. That is on our website.
And so if you need to read more about what the state plan is, please check out the FSU Fraternity and Sorority Life website, or check out the our Panhellenic website, which is floridastateph.com. Again,
got it.
I got it.
The FSL one is fsl.fsu.edu.
Yes.
If you are.
Yes. So check out those plans if you want to read more, if you don't know what the state plan is that we're talking about. And so check those out and read a little bit more about it. But we will be letting you know soon which plan we are going with for recruitment.
We are in the state plan, so if that changes, we will email you.
Now. Yes.
So if you are a registered PNM, we will email you.
Yes.
So what a incentive to become a registered PNM to get an email from Sarah Allison.
Oh yeah.
What an incentive.
What an incentive.
Want to quickly add on. Yeah, even though COVID-19 is quickly changing, as we all know, especially in Florida, changes every day. We're really working hard to get information out to y'all as fast as possible. We're talking with FSU, different healthcare advisors, things like that, to make sure that everyone stays as safe as possible. So I know it can be frustrating if we don't get the information out like super quick, but we're just trying to keep everybody as safe as possible. So currently in the state plan, but we are working to get things out hopefully sooner rather than later to y'all. So yeah.
We will email, like I said, state plan currently. If that changes, you'll get an email. We love a good email here.
Make sure you're checking your emails.
You'll be getting the Panhellenic shirt. We'll be able to have a spot on campus to pick it up, or it will be mailed to you if you're not coming back to campus. We got that question asked. We will be sending out move-in information as well, or move-in. Did I say move-in or not? Move-in. Sending out move-in. Sorry, that in and out. Crazy. Bunch of questions about dues. Are those going to be fluctuating based off of COVID? Anyone would like to take that one? There might be, I can answer.
Yeah, I'll take it. I was waiting to see if anybody else wanted to jump in, but I guess I'll take it. So with dues, there might be some modifications to dues this semester, but to get the most up-to-date info and details, it'll be talked more about in our investment round. So beyond, like, you'll be an investment round, you'll be able to hear more information with chapters and providing you their dues, what their dues include, and all of that, how it's laid out. So for now, like, that's going to be the best way to figure out that information. But
10 out of 10. How will recruitment work this year due to COVID? We've mentioned, so we touched on it. So if you have not checked out the plans from the Office of Fraternity and Sorority Art Department, I'm so used to it. It's just like I
know, I'm so used to saying the office.
It's so sad. It's not really sad. I just like physically the physical office miss it.
It's habit. It's just habit.
So the Fraternity and Sorority Life at FSU plan is released on their website at fsl.fsu.edu. And then there's a recruitment section of that if you would like to just read that section, which you are more than welcome to. That is also on our website. Saf, what is our website?
Our website is floridastateph.com.
Woo. You know what we should have done in hindsight was like written it and then just like lifted it up every time.
Every time. Or we could do it like a wave, like floridastateph.com.
Oh my gosh, each one of us could have a word. Each one of us could have a word. Florida State PH then .com.
Darn. We should have done that.
Really
we messed up. Guys, next time.
Next time. We'll be on
I was going to be like us, subscribe us. Honestly, subscribe. We got some good content. So check out those plans. Long story short, check out those plans. And if you do have questions on the specific plan, you can email our resident VPM, Sarah Allison, at membership at floridastateph.com. Yes, you will still be able to move in early, even if for the virtual components, you'll be able to move in prior to recruitment beginning. Sorry, I'm just reading. So quick one. When is the first day of recruitment? All of those dates are outlined on the schedule. Our orientation, please correct me if I'm wrong, someone starts on the 15th. 13th.
Orientation starts on the 13th, yes.
13th.
I was corrected. Thank you. How is bid day gonna work? Who wants to take some bid day fun?
I will do it.
Take it. Oh, you go, Sid.
Basically, bid day is going to be in shifts and smaller groups and some component, like there's just going to be smaller shifts basically. We have to follow social distancing guidelines and things like that to make sure that we are being as safe as possible. But yes, similar to how preference round will work, it's just going to be smaller shifts to follow social distancing guidelines. If anyone has anything else to add, please go ahead, because I'm scared I'm forgetting something, so please add if you can.
No, you killed it, Sid. But as we get closer to recruitment, as we get closer to bid day, we'll be releasing some more details about that, because I know there's so many different pieces of bid day, and I'm sure you have so many different questions. So we'll don't worry, we're not going to send you in blind. We will be giving you some more information on this.
Yeah, no, you'll definitely get a lot more information, and just like know for peace of mind that we will be following like guidelines and CDC guidelines, just to make sure you guys are staying as safe as possible and that everyone involved is staying as safe as possible. So we are thinking of all of that.
Incredible answers. Preference round, since we are currently in the state plan, that would make our preference round in person and the rest of our rounds virtual. So does anyone want to give a quick little explanation on how that would look in person?
I will add on that too, because as I explained previously, yes, preference round, same way as bid day, it's going to be in shifts, smaller groups of people in the chapter facilities, and following all social distancing guidelines, masks, 6 feet apart, all that jazz. So yeah, pretty much works the same as bid day, and the fact that we're just going to be in shifts and smaller groups.
Incredible. And that is our state plan. If we were to move into the university plan, the preference round would be virtual, which I'm just going to quickly segue into this next question. You are still able to make those connections, even if it is virtual. So that is a question we've been getting a lot of a couple of times on here, is how are you still able to make those connections in a virtual setting?
That's a great question.
Truly
Like,
10
that's
out of
a
10.
great question. Obviously we know, sorry guys, I'm sorry, I just added it again, but if y'all have anything, go ahead, pop in. But
No, Sid, you go off.
obviously, I'm sure it kind of scares a lot of women going through recruitment, like, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be doing this in online and not meet them in person, and I'm supposed to just be a part of this group, which I'm sure can be absolutely terrifying. I can't imagine that as myself, but it's honestly, you're still going to be able to make those connections because even though you're looking at the person through a computer screen, you're still having those conversations with them. You can still ask them the same questions and everything like that you would be asking them in person. So if anything, I would not be scared. We are confident that everything is going to go smoothly and that you'll still be able to make those deep connections with the women that you talk to in the chapters. So yeah, anyone else want to add anything on that? Because that's a really good question.
I think no, you're good.
Go, Liz.
Okay. I think it's the one thing, looking at silver linings, I always love to look at a silver lining of things. I know that the things are very different than past recruitments or recruitments that older siblings that you might have gone through. I think just looking at a silver lining from this is that you are having the opportunity to do recruitment in a space that you might be really comfortable in. And so that might take down some nerves or some barriers that you might have had to work through had you been in a chapter facility or through doing recruitment as done in the past. So I think using that as an opportunity to really focus more and emphasize the conversations that you're having and maybe putting a little more emphasis on those conversations, I think it can really give you the opportunity to do that. So I think that's kind of those conversations can really help build those connections. So allowing you the opportunity to do that.
I think the only thing I would add, and it's not even just it is recruitment, but also just in general, like we're virtual we've been a part of our chapters this entire time, but during like a normal semester for 2 months, a month and a half. And during that time, all of our chapters still had virtual engagement, which at the time, like in full transparency, I thought was going to be very weird. And I genuinely still felt that connection with my sisters within Panhellenic and within my chapter and within the greater Panhellenic community. And I'm a very like relationship in person, but like face to face, like I really value those connections and those interactions. And we did a bunch of things that we would usually do in person over Zoom or FaceTime and all different things. And yeah, it was different. And like, there's things I still miss about it. But the connection and like the level I was able to connect, I'm trying to think of another word, but like the deepness, is that you know what I'm trying to say? The depth. Guys, I'm so sorry. Clearly my coffee isn't. Once I get to here, I'll be more of a competent person.
Full disclosure, I was correcting you in my head, but I didn't mean to say it out loud, but it did come out.
So let's be very clear that the people all appreciate it. So,
okay.
I have one more thing to add that you kind of made me think of, Jenna. And also Alyssa, you made me think of it too. Being virtual through recruitment, it's also a great way for you to self-reflect, because I think recruitment's a great time for self-reflection. So you may be in your dorm room, you may be at home in your bedroom, maybe in your living room, your kitchen, but you'll most likely like be by yourself after these conversations with these women. And it's a great time to be able to self-reflect and think about what you want and what you want out of sorority life at Florida State. So yeah.
A little segue into that, said a great way to do this is using your recruitment counselor. These are a great resource, confidant, kind of mentor person for you to go to and just talk about things and talk about how your recruitment day went, which events you're maybe feeling great about, which ones you were not feeling so good about. Your recruitment counselor really they are trained for this, and we've been training them all year for this, to go through the recruitment process with you. And so they are there to help you through every step of the way.
I know this is like a weird.
These are a great resource.
What just happened?
Having some technical difficulties with our live stream.
Technology is just wild.
I know, that just really threw me. I feel like I felt like I was in like a.
That was me, and it was a little bit scary.
Oh, was it you?
That's the only. If
that was definitely me.
Oh, your voice.
And I didn't like
thought you
to
meant
hear
that
my
was you who
voice.
did it. And I was like,
No,
how did you do
no.
it? Like, what did you do?
I don't like to hear my voice on recordings. I have like a thing about that. I just don't like to.
I'm with you.
Have
Fully,
you guys like,
fully
you know,
on
when
the
you like
same page.
were younger and you would sing into your parents' phone
Oh.
and like record yourself to see how you like would.
You know what's funny is
how
I
you
used to want to
sing?
be.
Yeah, I was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Well, two things on that. Number one, I changed my on Waze, you know, like the app for, I feel like I'm like doing like ads during this.
No,
like
I love
wait,
Waze.
you can change the voice of people who tell you to
I
do
know.
directions. So like I
You can
changed it on my
do a
dad's
different
phone. It's like
accent or something.
turn
Cool.
left, like instead of having like Siri do it. But then it backfired because I don't like the sound of my own voice. And then we were in the car and it was doing it. So it, you know, I will say like my annoyance didn't end up having about like what's a consequence. Sorry, going back to Zoom though, I did have a quick little advice piece. They're Fired Up is a company that we work with often on trying to create different programs and different things for recruitment, Panhellenic as a whole. And they have a blog post that's called Be More Human on their blog, obviously, because it's a blog post. But highly recommend checking that out. It's Fired, PHIRED. But that's spelled, yeah, I'm not a good speller.
Yes,
That's correct.
So that's Fired Up, and then
And the blog post is
More
called Be
Human.
More Human.
Yes. Recommend checking
It's
that
about
out.
how to connect with people via Zoom. Great resource. I would definitely recommend you check it out.
Yeah. We've gotten a lot of questions. I want to acknowledge these questions about meal plans. So both chapter and FSU meal plans, I'm assuming when it says someone asked, which I loved the way that the drama of it, I have no idea which meal plan to use with the emoji. You can ask any of them. That's very much how I would say that. So loved that question.
I'll take part of this question. I'll go for it. So first of all, if you go through the recruitment process and you end up receiving a bid, you are going to be able to reduce your meal plan to the Seminole 65 meal plan during the first week of the fall semester. Super important info. The Seminole 65 meal is a complement to the meals in the chapter, basically. So yeah, that's kind of a good one. And anybody else have anything you want to add to that?
Just to clarify, Sarah Allison, the Seminole 65 gives them the flexibility to eat both at their chapter and in the dining halls, correct? It gives them that option. Okay, just to make sure. Okay.
Yes.
I'm fully muted. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I haven't figured out that
I was
yet.
waiting for you.
Can I tell you? I know that like people like being muted. Oh, Saf, I missed you. When people like being muted so they can like, if I'm in a meeting and I have to ask like my mom something, you know, it's nice, but like I wish that Zoom was smart enough that when I said something and it knew I was not trying to be muted, it just unmuted. Could you imagine?
I definitely agree.
That would be incredible.
So much more useful.
Someone asked, how can we be sure we choose the best sorority for them as a person by just talking to a couple of people on Zoom? It's very difficult to get a feel for one online. I mean, we kind of touched on this with the virtual connections. I just felt like that was something we could have, expanded on a little bit. I can start, and then if someone wants to
if not, I will.
I'll take it. Send it off. So
okay. So I think we've talked about this a little bit a while ago. If you're still here with us, but basically, as these rounds increase, your conversations with these chapter women should be getting deeper and deeper, and you should be able to kind of talk about things maybe that you've never shared with anybody else before. I mean, again, everybody's experience is different as you go through the recruitment process, but just as you go, you should be able to open up to these chapter women and kind of tell them about what your values are and see kind of what they value. And I think a lot of times people always talk about that feeling like you're at home, and I feel like it's important to know that it's okay if you don't immediately get that feeling. It's okay if that's something that like you never get. I mean, I know like when I went through recruitment, I was really conflicted with all of the different chapters, and I was kind of lost, and I didn't really know which chapter to choose in the end, or which chapter I would feel most home at during bed day or whatever. So just know that like you might not have that feeling, but it definitely comes, and like you find your home, and that's really just looking into like what your values are and if they're lining up with the chapter women.
If there's one little snippet I can give, it's that you know yourself best. And so taking that time, like Sydney said, about like reflecting, because you do have that time now, take that time to reflect on maybe the feelings that you were feeling during those conversations, before, after, and just throughout the entire process. But you really do know yourself best. So follow your gut. If it's something you might not be 1,000% sure on something, and that's okay. Not everybody needs to be 1,000% sure on a decision that you're making or the process that you're going through, but listen to yourself and how you might be feeling going through it all.
Yeah, I would definitely say I agree with Melissa, you know yourself best. And also just remember to keep an open mind as best as you can. I think it's almost like a blessing in disguise a little bit, not whenever, but now that some of these rounds are going to be virtual, because you only have yourself to listen to. Sometimes a lot of things can be misconstrued through words and things that people are saying. So I honestly think it's kind of a little bit of a blessing in disguise, because you just get to self-reflect and do what you feel you want to do the most, which I think is the best thing, because you just go with your gut. And I know it sounds crazy right now that you're like, how can I only talk to some of these women for a certain amount of minutes and just know? But sometimes you just get those feelings and you're just like, I connected with this girl so well. So yeah, just keep an open mind, self-reflect, and stick with your gut, because in your head, be in your heart, all that good stuff.
10 out of 10 advice. I could say it, but I just want to echo everything that they all just said. Sorry, I was really focused.
Quickly, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna pop off for a second, but I'll be right back.
We miss you already.
Miss you guys already.
We'll miss you.
Hi, pals.
Hey, pals.
It feels so much quieter now.
So much.
In a sad way.
Miss her already. She'll be back in a sec.
She can't stay away from us that long.
So someone hold on. Sorry. So many questions. I love how many questions. So I know we kind of touched on this in the beginning, but we didn't have, this was like earlier on in the coffee chat of we didn't have a lot of people on here, but some favorite FSU spots, either on campus, off campus, around campus. I know this is our favorite topic. Again, huge Tallahassee fan. If you didn't know, if you haven't heard me say it before, Alyssa, please take it.
Okay, so the Legacy Walk is just right. That's correct. Is one of names are not my thing. Not my thing. I know location. I just don't know.
Oh, so you need to reference the map. You need to reference the map again.
Sorry, I need to reference my map. Sydney, where's my map? I loved sitting there. Like, I love just sitting there and taking it in. Sometimes I'll study, like there's always benches and seats and stuff around that area. But it's just a really great place to just take a minute for yourself. I'm a big believer in like just taking a minute, because things can get crazy and chaotic, and you can just be a lot. Things can be a lot. And so really just taking the time to take your minute and to be productive, I found that can be a fantastic location to do that. So 10 out of 10 recommend. It's one of my favorites.
I have so many favorite places. I mean, okay. Can we talk about favorite places to study first? I feel like this is a good.
For sure. Yeah, you take study.
Okay. So personally, I'm a big Stroge gal. I love the 3rd or 4th floor of Stroge in the very back annex. That's where it gets quietest. Where there's like little
basement up there.
No. We could. This is an argument that we can have another day. This is an argument we can have another day.
You know what? Honestly, leave me the basement. Go to the annex for that. Listen to that. Sure. Okay.
I go to the annex. Anyways, so love Stroge. There's also Drac, which is the other library. But some other good spots. What's the bagel place that's right next to FSU Health and Wellness? Which is great, by the way.
It's really cute.
It's cute. You can get a little bagel. Really nice. And they have
great bagel sandwiches.
Outside. Yes. Another great place to study is the ACE Center. I'm pretty sure. Isn't that the building with like all of the glass?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. ACE Center is great. I've never been there, but that's been on my list of like places that I do want to go.
I know I have a lot of friends
before I graduate. I have a before I graduate bucket list, and ACE is on there. But ACE also has like so many other.
You can ace the list.
Yeah, they have tutoring there. They also have, I know a lot of people have used their resume helper. I don't know why I said that, but
they're really
yes,
fantastic.
so you can go and they'll have people there that will review your resume and help you work on it, which is great for professional development and any sort of job that you're looking for in the future. So that's super great. And let's see here. Oh yeah, which kind of reminds me of the Career Center, which the Career Center is great. Anybody want to touch on the Career Center?
The Career Center is really full of fantastic individuals. I'm just going to point that out because they have like people from all different areas of what you might need help with, resumes, cover letters, interview help, things like that. They're there to help you, and they're so willing to help you and so kind and understanding. And 10 out of 10 recommend visiting if you might be a little confused with career path wise or just need a little bit of guidance in anything. They're so willing to help you and just a really incredible resource on campus. And their building's beautiful.
It is really pretty. I was actually kind of scared to go there. I don't know why. I just I don't know. It's like scary career. I don't know. Moving on. But
like adult, very adult.
I took a leadership class and I had to go for my grade. So what a nice grade. You get to go hang out with some people, they correct your resume. Shout out my leadership teacher, Freddie. Just thought that was my teacher. But sorry, that's our advisor. I went there and they like fully wrecked my resume. And I think you just don't realize how I don't know, mine was really bad. I don't want to say yours might be great if you're coming in, it probably is. But I genuinely thought mine was great. It was 2 pages. It had all my high school awards on there. I was like, this is so good. And it just really wasn't. It really wasn't. But I don't know, I think sometimes you just need people to tell you that. So
yeah, they're definitely. They don't they're not gonna just tell you did a great job and send you on your merry way.
They're
gonna
really
be
not. So
they're gonna be fix this, but it's very helpful.
That's what
and very
you.
much appreciated.
That's what you need.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't want to go there and just be told I want help.
Yeah, my roommate too has been there. She was a engineering major and actually just got a job, which they helped her work on her resume for. And so she went. Shout out Morgan. I know she's not watching, but shout out Morgan. But anyways, so they really helped her build her resume, and I know.
And they put a stamp on it when it's good.
Yeah, they do. They do. She told me that.
They do.
But
they totally do.
If you're an affirmation person.
So yeah, they're very helpful. Definitely check it out.
So also, sorry, I do love a good study spot, but I also, especially in quarantine, I'm back in Tallahassee. So some good places to run on campus. Miss you at the Leech so much. Truly it's painful. Health and wellness. I have friends who are die hard health and wellness. I do love F45. The fact that you're a student and get to go to F45 is unreal. But in the Leech on the 3rd floor, they have an indoor track. And I'm a big runner, and I like to run. I'm not a good runner, but I do enjoy the act of running. And it's very Florida's very hot. So I walked outside yesterday, and genuinely, I don't know, for some reason it occurred to me that 5 o'clock was a great time to go for a run. It was not. It was really not.
It's a better time than midday.
It wasn't. You would think it was genuinely. My weather app said it felt like 99. But so you can run and do a little laps on the in circle in the circle. What was that? Hi Sid, welcome back.
Hi guys. I'm back.
Talking about how much I miss the Leech. But yeah, so you can run on the indoor track if you like to just not do a treadmill. So you can just run, but it's still indoors with some air conditioning. 10 out of 10 recommend. If you are kind of wanting to get off campus a little bit, Cascades Park is a nice place to run. They have stairs if you like to do some stairs stuff. Some fun times.
If you're a cross country runner, this is a little bit further from campus, but the Greenway is a good place to go run, or just hang out if you want to have a picnic or any of that. Good place. Definitely recommend it. But I think health and wellness is my jam. I like health and wellness.
I know you do. I know you do.
Stop.
F45.
I know
Thanks.
F45 is the best. Let me be very clear. F45
But I
is
do like
the greatest class at FSU personally, I believe, but I
Yeah.
like the Leach better. And the track really does solidify this for me a little bit. So I will say that is a big thing for me.
I do like that the Leach is bigger. I know people love how the one it is smaller, but I need a bigger, I don't know.
I'm with you. Okay, so if you want to hang out with Stapp and Sydney, Health and Wellness. If you want to hang out with me and Alyssa, go to Leach. Pick your fighter. You're fine. There's one
There
correct
you go.
choice.
I do think it's very funny that once you once you find one you love, you're like
that's where
indebted to that specific one. It is like you will defend that gym to the end. What can we say?
Well, yeah. So
I do like how Leach has everything though. Like it has everything to offer.
It does, and they have a pool.
Like it
I
has
mean,
everything you ever imagine.
I haven't gone in the pool because I'm not a big swimmer. But if you're a swimmer, they have a pool. There's so many things. Oh God, I miss Leach.
And Tully Gem is right next to it.
Place.
Huh?
Tully Gem is right next to it.
Oh, you're so right, guys.
Yeah. So I played IM volleyball. I played IM volleyball for the past 2 years. That was literally one of my favorite things ever.
That's a low key fact about you.
Relive my glory days. Yeah, I played for my chapter's IM team, which was so fun. So Tully Gym is right next to it, and like you would go and each chapters they have like a little match against each other. It's really fun.
IMs are one of my favorite things.
For sure.
I don't play, but I am an incredible supporter.
Sorry, I want to go back. I'm like watching our questions go up a little bit. I will 100% we can 100% come back to some more FSU suggestions.
Fine.
They also have a great bunch of dance classes. Sydney and I actually attended one. Yes, we can go. We'll do a staff.
I would like to go to a dance class.
A post-recruitment staff bonding.
I'm the most uncoordinated person ever, though.
It's fine. It's like it's more of like
it's fine. It's fine.
Like Zumba. It's more like Zumba. Yeah.
It's like Zumba.
Yeah, I still would not be able to do that.
But before
Sap and I would be happy to meet you for lunch after a dance.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of you there.
I'm there.
I'm dragging you with me.
Oh my goodness.
So if you want to, we'll plan. You could do it. Maybe not Alyssa, Sydney, or Sap. We could.
Dancing.
Alyssa, I don't think I could physically. Like I think Alyssa would just like sit in the corner and be like, I'm not.
I like spinning. Spinning is my thing.
So go to spinning with Alyssa.
There you
spinning
go.
with Alyssa.
Quick
go
promo
volleyball with Sap. Go dancing with Sydney, and go running with me.
Wait, Sap, what did you say?
I said quick promo for her Peloton. Alyssa loves her Peloton, by the way.
We can't get into this. This is not.
No, we're not getting into this. Go back to the questions.
My favorite. I just want to do a subtle. My favorite thing about FSU. That's a lie. There's a lot of things I can't rank them. We all know this. Sorry.
Wouldn't even want to see you try.
We'd be here all day because I'd be a really moral dilemma. But top 5 without a doubt is the circus. I don't. Have you all been to the circus?
Yes.
Yes, it's been a very long time.
Okay, I just wanted to confirm before we moved on from
there.
It's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life. We were filming a video for Panhellenic one time, and I got to go like in the back area. So not to flex or anything.
Way to flex. That's crazy.
Big flex.
Wow, Jenna.
Huge flex, honestly. Yeah, I just whatever. It's so fine. But there's a bunch of Panhellenic women in the chapter. If you're trying to like support that, I mean the chapter in the circus.
In the circus.
In the circus, that is correct.
And they just do an incredible
they're
job.
incredible.
I mean, they are amazing.
Their Halloween show is
the Halloween
truly out of this world. Like it's an experience, and it was just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
Also, this is really cool. They offer a 1-hour circus credit class. So you can take this course.
Yes.
It's 1 hour.
I'm taking it senior year.
Yes. And at the end, you get to do the trapeze and stuff. It's really cool.
Wait, that's so cool.
I would die, but I do want to do it. It will be my
last
day. It will be my
I
last day at FSU, but it will be great.
I love that.
Sorry. Okay, let's go back to questions. We took a little detour on that one, but I do feel like the circus is something that people.
The circus is so important.
It's so important.
Very important.
What is the difference between in-person rounds and virtual rounds? Good question. Anyone want to take that?
Okay, so so in-person rounds, if you like refer back to the plan on the website, you'll see that some certain rounds will be in person and some will be virtual. And really just the difference is the platform that will be hosting that round on. The virtual rounds will be hosted on Zoom, and the in-person ones will be hosted in person. And then there will be following like CDC guidelines and all of the guidelines that Florida State has put into place to keep everyone involved safely. So those are really just the difference of them. Same opportunity to have conversations with chapter women. It doesn't change that aspect. It's really just the way that that round is conducted.
Beautiful description. 10 out of 10 list. Oh, sorry, go back to spring recruitment for some SAP.
Another one?
Another one. Good question. Will there be more sororities participating in spring recruitment since a lot of people will not be up there physically in the fall?
Just to clarify, more chapters participating in spring recruitment than formal recruitment, or just in general?
You know, I don't know. Maybe both. Maybe just answer. Maybe answer in like a general sense.
Okay, so just in a general sense, there are typically less chapters that participate in spring recruitment than fall formal recruitment. Our spring recruitment process is really, we call it informal spring recruitment because it is very informal. Basically, you attend an orientation. There's 2 different sessions, and you attend one of those, and you have the opportunity to meet with the chapters that are there, chat with them, and then they might be hosting some events later on that they might invite you to, or they might be open events. It really just depends, but it's very informal. So basically, though, there is usually around half of our chapters. So we have 17 Panhellenic chapters here on our campus. So there's usually around half, so 8 or so, that attend and participate in spring informal recruitment. So that's kind of just like what it typically is.
Yeah, perfect. My computer is being a little weird, so after this question, I'll be back in momentarily. But from each of your perspectives, this is a question that a couple people have asked in some form. What makes each sorority individual and unique and different, since there are so many similarities among our chapters? So, and you can all answer that, and then I will be right back.
Can I start this one? Oh, sorry, Sid, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I think one of my favorite aspects about what makes each chapter different from the other is the foundation of the history of the chapters, which is something you'll learn about your new member period. I think that was one of my favorite things to learn about with my chapter, and was that you are able to learn the history and how your chapter started and how it got to where it is now. So I think that was really cool, and some of the stories you'll hear about them and how sororities as a whole started and how your chapter might have been founded. So I think that's something that it allows you to really learn, like how your chapter is, how the foundation of your chapter is still relevant to your chapter today. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, to add on to that, which was perfectly said, by the way, obviously they all have their own history and foundation, which means they have their own special ritual that only their members know about, which honestly is really special because that's just something that you share with the fellow members of your chapter. So I honestly think that's really cool. Also, of course, there's different causes that we all support, but in the end, we all come together. We all go to each other's events. We all do all that fun stuff to support each other, but it's kind of nice to have, hello, Jenna.
That was quick. You're back already. We missed you.
Guys, can I say, everyone's coming back, and the excitement level has been truly the best part of it.
It really has. What a greeting.
It's been so kind. It's like genuinely.
Can we make this into like one of those like happy birthday cards or something that like speak, or like a congratulations card that
those banners that like stretch out? I love those things.
I like those too. Those are really fun.
Anyway, Jenna,
it's like you're going home. Like when you go home on bid day, I feel like that's how I felt like when I came back. So there's still connection on Zoom, everyone. This is a personal testament. Sorry, continue.
We were just talking about basically what makes each chapter special. And I was just, Alyssa was saying how they're each built on their own history. And I was saying how, because they're built on that history, they have a ritual, which is unique to, you know, each of the chapters. And then of course, they have the different philanthropies that they each support, that we all come together, but in the end, they have that one that they root for, that they raise money for, that they lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry, but yeah, they all have their own cause that they support. So that's also really awesome. So, yeah. Steph, do you have anything to add, or Jenna?
Sure. I mean, I think that what makes each chapter so different is the people that are in each chapter. I mean, the women in our Panhellenic community are some of the most incredible, intelligent, just genuinely like amazing people. And I've met some of my best friends in this Panhellenic community. Some of my best friends are sitting in this call. Like, it's just the amount of people and like the people or the different walks of life that everybody is in. And just how this community is like able to lift up one another and support each other, and embrace those differences.
Something I want to touch on, just because we did go through and really explain how the ritual and the history behind each chapter is definitely a contributing factor to what makes each chapter so special in their own light. I think just wanting to touch on what rituals are basically, just for those of you who might not know it. Rituals are really the traditions that support a chapter. And so the traditions that might stem from their founding sisters, women.
Some chapters founders are men. They have like a man founder.
They're founders.
Individuals.
Founders.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Yes. And so they're really special. They can be ceremonies or things of that nature that you will learn in your new member period. And it can be a really, really special time. And it really is a great way to connect you to your chapter and your sisterhood. So that's just a little background on what rituals are, and because we threw that word around. So.
Yeah, and I really liked what Sarah Allison actually said about how there's some of the most unique, diverse, amazing, wonderful women in this community. And I can personally just touch on that because I was actually just telling some people the other day, some are actually in this call, that I was not the same person I was when I first came to Florida State, but I've changed in the best way possible. I used to be really shy, really kind of like nervous to kind of like go for anything, but I kept going for things, and here I am. I'm sitting with some amazing women on recruitment staff, and of course our Panhellenic president. So I'm really I'm so like, it is all because of Panhellenic. They give amazing opportunities, and I've been successful not only academically but also socially, and I've been more involved than I ever thought I would be when I first came to Florida State. So just some pros of the Panhellenic community. So gotta hype them up.
I do want to go back to our ritual point. Sid, I love you, and those words were great. But I want to hop back to our ritual point, kind of what Alyssa was talking about, and that you do spend time during the new member process, which is the process after you first, if you end up going through recruitment and you receive a bid to a chapter, the new member process is the time period after that follows receiving your bid, or following bid day. So basically during those times, you're spending time getting to know your fellow new sisters that are in your pledge class or your member class, and you're spending time getting to know them, getting to know the other women in your chapter, and you're spending time learning of the chapter's rituals. So I think those are really important, and it's just a really cool and neat thing to learn.
100%. Yep. Moving on to a different question. Will we be able to visit each house? So I'm assuming that that's meaning like physical chapter facility rather than each chapter. I can just quickly touch on this. So during round one, you'll be able to learn about every single chapter and interact with them in an asynchronous way. So you will not be able to physically go to each chapter facility. If we end up, currently we are in the state plan. So if come recruitment time, we're still in the state plan. you will be able to visit the chapter facilities of the chapters that you have during preference round. So that is a maximum of 2 chapters. If
Which
we
is also known as sisterhood round too. Preference round and sisterhood round would be same thing, just
correct.
as an FYI.
Very, very true. Very true. I do often forget that actually.
I do too.
Round 4, sisterhood round, preference round.
Your train of thought.
No, you're so I get distracted very easily. Genuinely like I always say I'm like a squirrel, but it's like when he says like squirrel, what is that from?
It's from Up with Doug.
Thank you. Yes. Okay. When I always say I'm like a squirrel, but it's really him saying squirrel. Not the same thing. Whatever. It's fine. You did not. It's fine. So if during that round you'd be able to see the chapter facility. If you don't have the opportunity, if you choose to go virtual for that round, or we end up in the university plan, you would still be able to meet the women of those chapters, which is the most important part of this process, is being able to form those connections. So I think that's it, but if anyone wants to add anything to that.
Yeah, we don't do any house tours. I know that's something that's done at a lot of other schools, but we don't do any house tours during recruitment at Florida State.
They're all great, truly. Nice
they
places.
Are truly all great. They all have different things that make them unique, so they're all cool.
We touched on this a little bit. We touched on the questions to ask when visiting chapters earlier. Actually, now that I'm looking at the time of that question, I think that was asked before we answered it. But that if that is something you are yourself are wondering about, your recruitment counselor has some questions that they are able to give you to ask the chapter women and help you do that. Our recruitment is a values-based recruitment, which is why when Sarah Allison, we don't do house tours to give more context on that. We really want you to be able to connect with the women in the community based on your values and their values and the connections that you're forming. So we have some questions that if that's something you're unsure about how to even approach that topic, that we can give you, your recruitment counselor will be able to coach you through that. Anyone want to say anything else about values-based recruitment? Kind of expand on that a little bit. I know we throw that around a lot, and I think as a PNM, I didn't really know what that meant. So anyone wants to touch on that for a little bit?
I'll go for it.
So basically,
no, go ahead.
So sorry, I never know when anyone's gonna pop in. So.
I don't either.
Go ahead, Sarah Allison.
Start it off, Sam.
Okay, I'll start it off. So our Panhellenic hang on, sorry, my Zoom just went a little crazy. So our Panhellenic slogan is it called a slogan? I'm pretty sure. Motto,
brand.
All of the above. I don't know. I'm not a PR.
Saying.
I'm not a PR major. Is discover what lies within. Discover what lies within. And so you'll probably see this a lot on the t-shirts. You'll see this on our social media accounts. And this is something that we really go by. And so I think with this, it's just kind of looking into yourself and like what your values are and what you see in yourself and like where you align with the different chapters. So I think that kind of touches on values-based recruitment and like how your values align with another chapter's with the chapter's values. Sorry.
And I think looping around to what we talked about earlier is that being a values-based recruitment is really about you taking the time to reflect on who you are and what you might be looking for through this process and in a chapter. And so taking that time, as Sid mentioned earlier on, to reflect and to process your thoughts and your emotions and things like that, it all plays into the act of having a values-based recruitment. It's not just a one-sided thing. It really is all parties involved have to take that into account and really think about it for themselves.
Yes. And if you are able to know your values and you know what your values are to you and you know a chapter's values, you're able to more easily kind of relate with the women in that chapter and with the chapter in itself. So it kind of makes it a little bit easier for you if you reflect on your own values before.
Just to expand a little bit on Discover What Lies Within, because big fan of that. I also was our PR, a VP of PR last year. So I do like the brand. But obviously I like the brand. I think we all like the brand. Sorry, I don't know, guys. It's getting late. But
it's getting late. It's 7:23.
I've become an early morning person in the quarantine.
I know.
So
I just have
quarantine. It's like quarantine, it's like it's 9 o'clock. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is so late. I gotta go to bed. Everybody, good night. Like it's
I'm telling
crazy.
you.
I don't know.
But I also
I
say
physically can't go
this.
to bed that early.
I say
It
this,
is
but I
done to
will be.
me.
I said it last night at 7 o'clock. I was like, I'm gonna go to bed early tonight. And I didn't fall asleep until 3 a.m. So it's fine. But
That's
sorry,
me every night, 3 a.m.
to go back to my discover what lies within sentence, and just kind of like talking about values-based recruitment. But I think something that's really incredible about the Panhellenic community is like the ability that you're able to just grow so much, but it's the people around you that really help you get there. So I think that we can go back and forth on like discover what lies within and what that means for each person. I think that's really what it is, because personally for me, like I know Sydney kind of said this, Sap said this a little bit, but I'm a completely different person from when I first joined this community. And that's because of so many people within this community. So the 3 people on this call constantly pushed me to be better. There were people when I was a freshman who just really took that time to invest in me and make sure that I had the tools I need. I hate this sentence. I'm so sorry. The tools I needed to be successful to get to be that person. And then like, as we have gotten older, like that's something that like, as we have recruitment counselors that we're able to like pass that along to, but there's just such a camaraderie and people who want to help you get better within this community, and they want to, again, I don't like, sorry, by the way, like they want to help you discover what lies within and how you want to grow as a person. And I think that's what's really special about this community. So that's my little discover what lies within. You can also find your joy if we're just gonna pub all of our campaigns over here.
I have a good question that I get a lot.
Yeah, go.
Okay, so how much does it cost? Did we cover this? I don't know if we covered this while I took a quick break, but how much does it cost to go through recruitment, and how do you complete the payment process? Especially, how do you complete the payment process? That's what I get a lot.
Yes, Sap gets this all the time. I get TC'd on this response hourly.
Jenna her phone will blow up with my emails. But anyways, so the registration fee for 2020 recruitment has been set to $130. So this covers a variety of expenses: t-shirt, 2 cloth masks, sanitation for kind of our chapter facilities, and our recruitment counselor, command center is what we call it, and our safety equipment, online orientation content, and some other platforms, along with virtual event management. So kind of a lot of different pieces it covers. So the registration fee must be paid no later than July 31st. Super important that you remember this date, or else if you don't pay by this date, you unfortunately won't be able to go through the recruitment process. And you can pay in your campus director account. So all you do is log in with your email you used to register, or you go to mycampusdirector2.com. And then once you log in, you click pay fees, and you just pay from there. And if you have any trouble paying or submitting your payment or anything, just again, send me an email, membership@floridastateph.com, and we can help solve some problems. Yep.
It's my favorite thing to do, to tell people to email us out. It really is.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you.
I do it often.
Often.
Good.
Often.
She has the
email shop. Just send it over. My inbox.
No, it's really incredible. It really is incredible. Another question about questions are. I love it. People are still asking them. So kind of you.
I love that.
We answered a couple of these. I didn't check all of them off. That would have been better of me. So we have recruitment, of course, and then they become a new member of their chapter. What are some things that PNMs, or I guess at that point new members, are able to expect from that process?
I can take this one. So, and y'all can find anything, of course, in case I forget. So basically, being a new member is kind of as Jenna explained earlier, it's kind of the part right after your PNM and before you're about to become an official member of the chapter. It's just that period where you get to become more educated on your chapter. You get to learn the history, and everything like that. And then once you're initiated, you get to learn all the ritual, but until then you kind of just get to understand why your chapter is the way it is. So basically this consists of new member meetings, at least once a week, maybe more. It depends on the chapter, but in these new member meetings, you meet some of the executive members of your chapter. You talk about the history, the founders, the year, school it was founded at, like pretty much everything that you know. Being a new member, you also, depending on how meals are going to work with COVID-19, which everyone is still trying to figure out, so we all aren't sure, but assuming that there is going to be meals in the fall, which not 100% yet, but you can meet women that way. New members are definitely allowed to go to meals. They're also allowed to go on any philanthropy events, things like that. Being a new member, also one of my favorite things is you get a big and you become a little. So this is basically, your big is basically like your mentor, the person you go to if you have any questions, if you need a ride somewhere, like they're your person basically to help kind of get you through that first hump of being in a sorority. They get you through initiation, things like that. Your big can be someone that you know, or like that you met through the new member process, or it may be someone that you don't know and you might randomly get a big. I, for example, had a random big. I chose to have a random big just because I met a lot of amazing women and I was like, why not meet another one? So, but yeah, my big ended up being my best friend. I'm actually going to be her bridesmaid next year, so that's exciting. So yeah, they're basically just a mentor to you, to help guide you. But yeah, being a new member, super fun, super educational. Do y'all have anything else to add? I try to think of.
I do actually, said. So just to kind of go back to chapter meals, there are going to be chapter meals this fall.
Hey.
They're going to, yes, they're going to follow guidelines to make them safe and make sure that we're prioritizing the health and safety of everybody, whether that's chapter staff that are, or chapter women, staff that live inside the chapter facility. So there will be shifts and there will be single serve to go container options, but there will be no buffet style, and there will be enhanced cleaning and sanitation measures for the kitchen staff.
Perfect. I was not sure, and I did not want to give
to clarify. There will be meals.
Thank you.
Don't fret, everybody. One of the best things ever, meals.
Oh, it's the food.
10 out of 10.
Beautiful.
Yes,
10 out of 10.
beautiful.
Thank you for answering that, clarifying. That's great. You will be able to pick up, we touched on this, but if someone was asking it, so just wanted to be able to clarify, how will you be able to get the masks and the shirt that you were paying for? We will either be mailing it to you if you're not coming back to campus, or you will be able to pick it up at a station on campus before recruitment. Oh, this is a good one. All of us, for context before I answer it, all of us are disaffiliated from our chapter, or cross-affiliated, I'm sorry. So in order to remain impartial and be able to give advice to PNMs throughout the process, we have taken on the letters of all 17 chapters, and so we don't give away our affiliation during this time, but still being able to answer the question, what about our particular sorority made you realize that that was the one for you? So if you want to just like give a
great question.
For sake of time, maybe like one or two people answer it.
Okay, I'll go.
I was waiting for you to go. I didn't know if you're going to.
I know. I didn't want to like, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's a great question. I didn't want to like jump ahead, but
please answer the question.
Happily. So I think the moment, or the things that most connect me with my chapter, and which I most was what I loved the most was the history of our chapter and why it was founded. Obviously I'm not gonna give away my chapter affiliation, but I do think that I treasure the new member period so much because of how much you're able to learn during that time about yourself, about your chapter, about the history of your chapter. And I think it provides a lot of opportunity for growth and recognition. And I really loved that specifically with my chapter during that period. Does that make sense? I think I covered that. Okay.
Mine's super quick, so Sap, you can go too. Basically, when I was a freshman, my family didn't go through Greek life. I was not very familiar with Greek life, so I basically just went in blind, and I had no prior knowledge. So, which for any of you women who are going through the recruitment process and are not familiar with Greek life, hello, I was in your shoes. So yeah, basically, I didn't know that my chapter was going to be my chapter until like leadership and service round, possibly preference round. It kind of just like hit me all at once. I just went with my gut and I couldn't be happier. The women are so wonderful, so unique. And they really just talked to me like they just talked to me like they already knew me, and they just checked in with me and things like that. So really the conversation and how comfortable I felt really hit home for me. So.
And then do we have any further questions in the sake of time?
Yeah, let's end with one like nice like memory one, you know?
Oh, yay. Okay.
So, what is let's do like we can all answer it, and then I guess we'll wrap up, which is kind of sad because I feel like this may have been a delight, like a summer peak for us, to be honest with everyone.
Most definitely.
Tell me I'm wrong. Yeah,
for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, no,
it's fun. I can do it all. Yeah, let's start a channel. Let's start a vlog.
Yeah, guys, this was our pilot episode, if you will. Honestly,
like,
oh my God, I live for this.
Subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
So, what is it called? A push notification? Is that when you like post something?
Turn them on
notification
for sure.
Turn them on. There you go.
Okay. So, what is everyone's favorite memory of your time at FSU? I know we'll be here all day, but like, you know, narrow it down. One of your favorite memories. Let's not play favorites here. With your sorority, or I'll say FSU or Panhellenic community. Yeah.
This is like not easy. Sorry, Seth.
No, this is really hard. This is I have like don't know if I mean I have one specific memory. I don't have anything like super specific though. I mean, this past year I lived in my chapter facility, and it really brought me which I didn't even think was possible. It brought me so much closer to my chapter. And I got to know a lot of really incredible women who are actually the year above me, who I like didn't know before. So that was definitely a big highlight of, and I lived with a woman who I didn't really know well before. And seriously, that was such a highlight of my time at FSU, and like, I will treasure those memories forever. But I think another one of my favorite memories, like a specific thing, was, our recruitment counselor retreat last year. So so for all of you who don't know, like, we were all recruitment counselors last year, and now we are on recruitment staff. But we all went to the retreat. We all went to a retreat in Panama City Beach for a whole weekend. And it was honestly just such a great time to get to know all 120 of us. And it was really cool just to like see how these women all come from different chapters, yet you all share similar, I guess, views, but not even in that sense, like similar, you all share similar goals. And like, we wanted to build up the Panhellenic community and like continue helping it grow. And so I think that was, one of my best memories. Sorry, I went on a tangent. It happens.
I feel like I've been going on tangents the whole time, and I wish people would just tell me to stop talking. Mine's pretty quick, as I say all the time, but who knows how long I'll talk. Anyway, so as Sarah Allison said, my favorite memory has to be being a recruitment counselor. It was the best thing ever. It was so much fun. The amount of laughs that I've had, they can't be topped. But yeah, it was so fun. I learned so much about myself. I gained so many new best friends, all who are sitting on this call with me. So it's really cool that we get a whole nother recruitment year together. So it's going to be super fun. But yeah, I learned all about myself, all about the other 16 chapters that are on campus. And yeah, I just loved it. It was so fun. Just a blast. And of course,
I think
games. Can't forget. Sorry, Alyssa.
Nope. So good. I think my favorite moment, when I think of just one specific moment, it is the last night of recruitment before Fidjay, when all recruitment counselors are together. That's just like the moment that pops in my head immediately.
I could cry. Like I could.
Oh no, don't.
So good.
Yes, it's just, that's the moment that comes to my head the first whenever I think about like what Panhellenic has given me. It was that night where we all just sat together and we like told stories, and it was just a really great couple hours. It wasn't even crazy long. It was just a really treasured moment, and I do think about it often. So that would be that's my snippet.
And what's funny about that that
I'll
I
never forget
genuinely think
that.
about that often. Like
Mhm.
it's like a whole thing that night. Like people go in the fountain, it's like whatever, but it was actually like raining, so we actually had to sit all in the
Pouring.
like
Yeah.
huddled area, like covered area, and it was like not what you would think would be like an enjoyable experience.
Oh yeah. No,
I actually sat with you, Alyssa. Now that I'm thinking
We
back to
did.
this,
we
fully
totally did.
Oh, Alyssa, what a beautiful moment.
On paper, you would think like that was a long day, it was raining, but like in like remembering it, like perfect moment.
Perfect.
Moment.
It was perfect moment.
I'll like
Sad.
echo that one.
did.
I know I could cry. It's fine. Did I cry walking around FSU since we've been back? Yes. I just
Mhm.
it's fine. Whatever. I'll get over it. But I think echoing Alyssa's moment, I also, not to steal Saps, but I always will say living in my chapter facility has been just genuinely one of my favorite experiences. Just because you are so close, like you're living with 30 to, depending on the chapter, 30 to 50, 60. I'm not sure the exact max of one house. But that experience is just unlike anything else. And I met my roommate that way, and she became one of my favorite people. I just think there's so many little moments. So again, not to go back to this, but there's just like, I think this community it's not like big, crazy moments. Like Alyssa said, we were huddled under an overhang for
Yes,
hours.
like
and
sharing
it was
umbrellas, dripping wet.
Who had an
Literally doing
umbrella?
the Cotton Eye Joe, like everybody
Oh
had
my
their
God, we
shoes off,
did
like
do
we were just
that.
hanging
You're
out
right.
outside. Somebody had a karaoke
Dancing.
microphone, like it was so.
Right.
It was.
I forgot about
We
that.
were like
Yeah.
singing, rapping songs. People have secret talents, let me tell you, and they come
They
out
do.
Yeah,
when
you
you're
don't
delirious and
know.
tired.
They
It
do.
was just perfect.
So I think it's just like the little moments, and even just like, I mean, we'll be done with this, and I'm sure within either tonight or tomorrow, the four of us will be back on a call again and just be like sitting here talking. So it just, even in the virtual sense, like there's just so many things about this community and the connections you make, and like just like little moments that just accumulate into one of the most incredible experiences. Unfortunately, I think for all of us, because I think we have truly made this our life peak, we are out of time for our live stream coffee chat. I know we all look really upset.
I'm sad about this.
It's really upsetting. But thank you so much to everyone who listened and watched the coffee chat. I'm sure we have done some in the past, so if you would like to watch those, we've answered some other questions on there. We had some of our alum come on to our last one, and Sarah, Allison, and I asked them some questions. That was a great one. We highly recommend checking it out. We're obsessed with them. So please check that one out. But we'll be doing more content leading up to recruitment, so just make sure you follow us on social media. Register for recruitment if you have not already on our website. We also have a million resources on there, so check those out, and check your email for any updates. But yeah, thank you guys so much.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Bye.
Bye.